The career of Sean Avery. It's not a particularly long career, to be honest. But boy, did he get a lot done in a very short period of time. We'll just go through his numbers. 2001, 2002. His first year he plays for Detroit. 36 games, 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points. And you don't hear much said about him. Second year, 02-03. 39 games played, 5 goals, 6 assists, 11 points. And again, not a whole lot said. He gets thrown into a deal over to LA. Plays 12 games in LA, 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points in that same 2002-2003 season. 03-04, 76 games played, 9 goals, 19 assists, 28 points. He's kind of becoming known as a brash trash talker. Trash talking a lot on the ice. No suspensions out of it that I can remember, but kind of known for that. You have the lockout season, and then coming out of that, 75 games, 15 goals, 24 assists, 39 points. That was his career year. And again, he was a good agitator. He was a good bottom six guy. And a lot of people didn't necessarily like his personality, but the results were there. 2006-2007, 55 games with the Kings, 10 goals, 18 assists, 28 points. He gets traded over to the New York Rangers. Plays 29 games for the Rangers, 8 goals, 12 assists, 20 points. And that's the season where he really starts to become a main player, and not necessarily in a great way. 07-08, he plays 57 games with the Rangers, 15 goals, 18 assists, 33 points. And again, he gets known for chirping at other players. He gets known for getting into fights. He didn't shy away from fights. I will say that for Sean Avery. A lot of rat players will say things and chirp and whatever, and then they'll turn away from fights, or they'll turtle down and drop to the ice. He didn't do that so much. And he was very outspoken. And the thing with guys who are outspoken, and I talked about Jeremy Roenick last night, guys who are outspoken very often will say things that other people might be thinking, but at the same time, mixed in there will be things that they really shouldn't say. And that's where Avery was. He signed as a free agent with Dallas, and I was mad. I was flat out angry when he signed with Dallas, because I thought, this is not the kid they need. And this was when Brett Hull brought him in. The idea was Brett Hull thought, okay, we'll bring him in. I'm pretty sure Brett Hull was one making that decision. And it was a disaster. 23 games, 3 goals, 7 assists, 10 points. And that was it. He wouldn't play for Dallas again. And I'll get into that. I'm just doing the numbers first off, because otherwise I'm going to get sidetracked with everything else. It kind of needs to all happen in a row here. He ends up back in New York on re-entry waivers. So he got sent to the minors, came back on re-entry waivers. 18 games with the Rangers, 5 goals, 7 assists, 12 points, and he looked like he was home. He did. He looked like he was home. He looked like he belonged with the Rangers. 2009-2010, he played 69 games for the Rangers, 11 goals, 20 assists, 31 points. Again, looks great. 2010-2011, however, 76 games, only 3 goals, 21 assists, 24 points. So the goal scoring disappeared. And then in 2011-2012, he plays 15 games, has 3 goals, no assists, and gets sent down. He retired on March of 2012. So from when he started in the NHL, from his rookie year until he retired, there's only an 11-year span. But he was a real loudmouth. And I don't think that I can aptly describe just how much. I don't. It's worse than anybody in the game right now. 2007, he was fined $25,000 for a leukemia comment he made about Jason Blake towards Darcy Tucker prior to the game. He denied he made the comment, but he still got fined $25,000. April 13th, 2008. This is when they changed their sportsmanlike conduct rule. It's when they had to, because Sean Avery, during a series between the Rangers and the Devils, is standing in front of Marty Brodeur with his arms in the air. He's not facing the puck. He doesn't even care where the puck is. He's just trying to get Marty off his game. It worked. He drew power plays regularly in that series, which led to power play goals by the Rangers and led to the Rangers winning that series in 5. And sometimes it's not the fact that your team loses, it's how they lose. And for fans watching from the outside, it just seemed wrong. But Avery distracted the Devils the whole series, made it all about him, and the Devils were out. Marty Brodeur didn't shake his hand after that series, and his comment was, "Fatso forgot to shake my hand." He was a beloved figure, that Sean Avery, and I think part of where Sean Avery was different from a lot of other people in and around the hockey world is this. Most hockey players understand that there's a certain amount of respect to be paid to guys who are legends in the game, like a Marty Brodeur. Personally, as a fan, I respect anybody who makes it to the NHL. Anybody. Doesn't matter. Avery is much more of the, you have to earn my respect, rather than just get it granted to you, no matter who you are. So when he stepped on the ice, he didn't respect anybody but himself. And sometimes that included his teammates, and he did a biography last year that I didn't read because I'm not giving money to Sean Avery. But, he was very clear that he didn't like his teammates, he didn't like his coaches, he didn't respect people. This is part of the reason why his career didn't last that long. December 2nd, 2008. So this was right here. The media scrum's asking him a bunch of questions about his dating life. And he made a comment about how he doesn't understand why guys around the NHL are after his sloppy seconds. And it was a comment about two guys. At the time, Rachel Hunter was with Jarrett Stoll of the Kings. And Dion Phaneuf of these Calgary Flames, they were going to play that night, was with Elijah Cuthbert. Now, Cuthbert, of course, is now married to Dion Phaneuf, and they seem like a wonderful couple. And it was a comment that got made, and it was just offside. And he said the day after he apologized, he said he was just trying to drum up excitement for the game. Really? The NHL suspended him. He ended up getting 6 games. And of course, if this happened now, you'd have everybody on Twitter and Facebook and all this going nuts because you just get 6 games for that. No, the NHL had warned him prior to this and said, watch your language. Basically, watch what you're saying, watch your conduct. And being Sean Avery, he was like, I don't think I'm going to do that. So he still made the comment, and he was out for 6 games. And not only that, but when this took place, the Dallas Stars were already sick of him. And that included his teammates and his coach. Tippett didn't want him back. Mike Modano and Marty Turco went to management and said, we're not playing with him. When this suspension's over, we are not playing with him. So at the end of that 6-game suspension, the Dallas Stars said, yeah, we're not bringing him back. And I did a collective cheer. I had not wanted to see him in Dallas anyways. I was very upset about him going to Dallas. And the fact that Mike Modano and Marty Turco, who are 2 of the best Dallas Stars ever, say, we don't want him on our team, that says a lot right there about not just this comment, but about his behavior in general. They just didn't like it. And then, during his second go-around with the Rangers, he ended up in a long-running feud with Tortorella. He had said some things about Tortorella, and then ended up being coached by John Tortorella. And after his retirement, he tweeted out that the Rangers weren't going anywhere because John Tortorella was holding them back. It was all Tortorella's fault. I don't know how he feels about Tortorella now, other than, I guess in his book, he called him a clown and numerous other comments. Sean Avery loves Sean Avery. He thinks he's pretty cool. He's done modeling since then. He's done acting since then. He's convinced he's going to be this big actor. He was on People's Sexiest Men Alive list in 2007, which I'm sure he's probably got an issue of somewhere on his property. Avery, and it's funny because he did come out in favor of same-sex marriage, and he has stuck his neck out and done some nice things socially. He has. But it gets overshadowed by all of the other bad behavior that he committed on and off the ice during his career. I think that Sean Avery is a guy who is enamored with New York, clearly. Loves the New York Rangers. Loves the spotlight. Loves when people are talking about him. Would probably love the fact there's a video being made about him right now. But the sad part is this. He played 580 games in the NHL. He had 247 points, 1,500 penalty minutes. And this is what he's remembered for. That's why I got all of this out of the way first. to talk about this. And there are other incidents. You know, there was always something minor, or you'd see him beacon off during a game. And it's a fine line. You know, there's guys who beak off. So you've got guys on your team that, you know, might be a little bit outspoken. But you've got those guys too that just keep beaking off. And you're like, what are you doing? Pay attention to the game. Pay attention to what's going on over here. He said to in interviews that there were times where legendary players that he respected, like a Brendan Shanahan or a Brett Hull, would pull him aside and tell him to clean up some of his conduct, and he admitted it went in one ear and out the other. Maybe he should have listened to him a little bit longer than he did. Sean Avery was a decent agitator. He was a decent bottom six forward. And he understood that Matthew Barnaby was insane, which absolutely, I don't think Barnaby would argue with that at all. But he also rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and he wore out his welcome pretty quickly. Not here. And I don't think necessarily with the Kings either. But definitely his second go-around with the Rangers and his first 23 games with Dallas was plenty for Dallas, the organization, and its fans. It's a shame. It's a shame that what he gets remembered for is this. But at the same time, am I making a video about him if he doesn't have that and he has these stats? No. But would he have played longer if he hadn't done some of the other stuff he did? That's the big question. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through and you're just happening upon this video. Thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.